Happy Friday. This is Ernie, the guy who had $6 in his checking account to having millions of dollars. I'm getting a lot of questions from people who are asking, how do you pick stocks? Oh, my wife is giving me a look since I'm doing this while she's shopping. The question is, how do you pick a stock? You could listen to CNBC and follow people who are giving you advice on whether you should buy Apple, you should buy CrowdStrike. You could listen to them. Sometimes it's easier to listen to them than you don't have to do your own homework. You could look at annual reports, you can look at research reports. These are all possible tools you have, which is why I have multiple platforms so that I'll be able to utilize as much information as possible. But myself being an ex-management consultant, I have a very different approach and my brain works slightly different. So I'll give you an example. So back in 2008, we had a financial crisis. And I looked at the market and I was very fortunate to liquidate everything before that happened. But I was a little scared to go back in, not knowing what's going to go bankrupt, what's going to happen to the economy. So instead of putting money into the stock market, I looked into buying a property near my sister's place. So I went to look at a townhouse or a condo, and when I went in, it was a foreclosed property, by the way. Doorknobs were missing, kitchen sink was not there. I think they took it apart to sell it so that they can make a little money. Refrigerator was not there, the vent was missing. So I went to talk to a contractor, and contractor said, I need $20,000 in materials if I want to rent it out, or if I want to live there, I need to spend at least $50,000 in material. So what do? I said, 7 million foreclosed homes, low estimate 20,000, maybe I'll do middle of maybe 30,000. $30,000 of materials that people have to use to potentially fix up 7 million foreclosed homes. That's $210 billion. So what do? No, I did not buy that property. I went to buy Masco that manufactures Delta Faucet, Behr Paint, cabinets and all that. I went to buy Sherwin-Williams, the famous paint. I went to buy Home Depot, Lowe's, anything related to any companies that manufactures anything related to homes. I bought those stocks. Some I bought them at $4, eventually sold it at $34. And along the way, I did my cover calls. And if you go back to my compounding video, I do cover calls rather than to take money out for a weekly spend or monthly spend, I reinvest it. So by the time the whole housing market crisis was over, and some of these companies, I think it took maybe 7 or 10 years, I was able to sell a lot of them at enormous multiples. I think Masco, I bought it at $6 or maybe $7. I eventually sold it at $34. Also, banking stocks were drowning in debt. So a lot of banking stocks. So I bought Bank of America, Citibank. I bought Washington Mutual, which went bankrupt, so I lost money. But I bought funds that has banks. So those all went up. And then, of course, I did the compounding, selling call options, so I got even more shares. So some of them I started with 10,000 shares. I was able to eventually sell about 24,000 shares because I had it for such a long time. This is how you pick stocks in my point of view if you do not want to just rely on celebrities and research, existing research. Another example will be American Eagle's Outfitter. I don't know how many people are aware. Think of it as Abercrombie and Fitch knockoff. Right? It's cheaper, style is about the same. Whether you believe it or not, I used to go there with a notebook and a clicker to see 3 same stores every Saturday, spent about an hour in front of the store, like some crazy stalker. And I check to see how many people are going in, how many people are coming out with a shopping bag, how much merchandise, roughly what percentage is on sale. So it was doing really well. So I used to reinvest. Sometimes you get to exercise, I buy them again. And then one weekend, not too many people are going in and not too many people are coming out with a shopping bag. So I knew that's the time I needed to exit my position. And luckily, after I think quarterly report after that, the stock started to tank because they could not deliver. So there are things that you could do in order to be smarter about it. Or if you say, you know what, I don't have time to do this, I don't have that kind of mindset, then the easier option is to invest in S&P 500 index fund or ETFs like SPY that gives about 0.5% every week. You could do cover calls on those and then trying to accumulate as much as possible. But going back, picking stocks, if you want growth stocks, you actually have to do some homework. And two, I typically pick growth stocks or undervalued stocks that has a growth potential, or undervalued ETFs that has weekly calls and call option premium is at least 1%. That has been my criteria. I tried 2% before, there aren't that many. I tried 0.5% before, it's just not that lucrative. So 1% has been my rule. Hopefully this was very useful for you guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll do my typical cover call video on Monday. So stay tuned.